this is, I think, the number one thing that no one comprehends, and even my mother has gotten into arguments with me because of it. My grandmother has, but I think it's the loaded. I think it's the biggest sack of bullshit ever. That like even like if you download the Bible app on your phone right now, right? It tells you like fucking 20 versions to download, right? And if you look at King James's, right? Okay, the verse pretty similar to like maybe two or three, right? But then if you go down and like look at the number 15th version, bro, that shit is a whole different fucking verse, nigga. We talking about a whole different dimension at that point, nigga. Like exactly, exactly. But here's the thing, though. Okay, we don't even have the full Bible. The full Bible has never been found. So then, how are you telling me that this book that we call the Bible right now is the Bible when we don't have the full Bible? And then that's my biggest thing where it's like, okay, if you read a dictionary and I read a dictionary, I could be in China, you could be here in the United States. I fucking Tim can be in El Salvador. You know, my friend Coco's in Canada. We read the same word, we all are going to get the same definition, right? Okay, a book should always be like that. Yes, you can interpret an ending of a book differently. I completely get that. You will look at different points in the book and you will definitely get that, right? But at the end of the day, a book will always have the same storytelling and the same fucking ending, no matter any way you read a book. You feel me? That's my biggest issue with the Bible. I can't believe in the Bible because it's like, forgive me, God, I believe in the Bible, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't fully pour my heart into it and be like, hey, this is what I'm gonna live my life by because this is what God wants me to do. Because I don't. Some random fuck in the 1900s wants me to do this, but I don't know if God does. You feel me? Before, exactly, and then we go into the timeline where before Christ, and then you know what I mean? Mm. Okay, okay. Okay, I was drinking water. Okay, I have a friend. Um, he actually went to Israel and very blessed that his grandfather actually knows how to read the original Quran. And he read that one verse. And obviously, translating from that language, especially because it's older, is a little harder to translate to English right now, right? But the one verse that he did read to me, bro, and like we were able to actually get the verse, right? Dude, we're talking about two different like languages, bro. Like what the Bible said, even though it was the same message, it was interpreted completely. I understood it more coming from the Quran than what the book is now. And you know, one of the biggest things that people have, especially like atheists love to say, is that religion was created to control people. And as much as I hate that, I think it is true. Because let's be for real. In the 1900s, right? Let's look at the cowboy era, right? What was the trail? The fucking wagon trail. What's that thing? Fuck. The Oregon Trail. Probably one of the worst area, like one of the worst like times in our area, like in our era, where like crime was at an all time high because motherfuckers just had guns and just could go whoopah, right? Exactly. Okay, so in that time period, obviously, I think it was worse than like when fucking Genghis Khan era and like like what's this? Well, okay, now worse. Okay, let me okay, let me rephrase this. At least in the Genghis Khan era, there was a hierarchy of some sort. Okay, yo, chill, chill. Hey, yo. Okay, you're stupid, bro. You know what I meant, and you still took it to it. Okay, but anyway, like what I was trying to say, I think it was created in a way to control people. You know what I mean? Like I don't. Okay, okay, fuck. Okay, forgive me, God. The Bible wasn't created to control people, but the way it's been edited, exactly. Or the death penalty, or like Israel and Palestine. Yeah, Palestine. Like, well, yeah, we all believe in the same person. Yeah. Yeah, in all honesty, bruh, I honestly think, as much as this sucks to say, fuck, I feel like I'm sinning by saying this, but I think people use religion in a way to like make them feel good about themselves that they're a good person. You feel me? And yeah, and that like they just don't want to come to reality that like at the end of the day, you might be a shitty person, and like you fucked up, and you just do stupid shit. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna hold you. I hate to say this, okay? The whole thing where people are like, "Oh, God speaks to me," I call complete bullshit. Because, like, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I could be completely wrong. It's just my opinion. I feel like God already did what He did, and He already tried, and He already sent us enough messages to know what we should do, to the point where, like, now it's up to us to figure shit out and see where it goes, right? We know that the end of the world is coming. In the Bible, it says it. When the Holy Land is at war, that we're closer to the end of time. You feel me? And who's at war right now? Sully. 100%. But who's the biggest one right now that the whole world is looking at that's at war right now? No. Man, the United States is a fucking bully, is what they are. I have my issues with the United States saying "God bless America" when you guys literally make missiles that can annihilate the world. Yeah, but no one has their slogan as "God bless America." Yeah, They are, yeah. America's a good country. I just think it's led by terrible people. That is true. You're not wrong. You are right. Right. Yeah, you're not wrong. But to be fair, though, the moment America goes to war, the whole world is cooked. Like, it, from our own, yeah, 100%. Exactly. But I don't even know if Earth can sustain all that, like, nuclear shit. Like, the world is already, like, failing as a whole. Like, let's be for real. Yeah, but isn't, yeah, but isn't, okay, but isn't, like, the sun growing? No, no, no. No, 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 no. Didn't they say that the sun is growing? They said that it's, yeah, but apparently it can suck us in. Like what? Like before it expand, like before it blows up, it will kill Earth. Like it will suck it in. I mean, obviously we will, but I see the sun outside my window tomorrow. So suddenly you said we were gonna be long gone, nigga. No, but like, okay, I don't know, bruh. Like, I'm glad that like we're on similar pages. Obviously, not 100%. We look at everything differently. Like, I feel like that's completely valid. Right. But you see, yeah, but you see how even though we have similar interests, we have disagreements as well. Like, we may not agree, but we're not. But you see how we're still friends and we acknowledge each other's like beliefs and stuff like that, because at the end of the day religion is all personal, and I think that's what everyone seems to forget, and that's why the whole thing where it's like, oh, you're not religious, I don't want to fuck with you. Oh, you don't go to church, I don't fuck with you. It's so fucking retarded, bro. Exactly. Yeah, ex- exactly. But then again, oh fuck, I hate this, bro, because it's like, okay, people who say they have a personal relationship with God, what do they usually do, Sully? Okay, this is from my personal experience, what I see. Okay, I've seen a couple of my friends, seen my mother, my grandmother, um, some of my cousins. This is what they do, and I think you can testify that you've probably seen similar things. You feel me? My grandmother's the only one that goes to church consistently every Sunday. Okay. However, everyone else in my family either too busy or just doesn't go every weekend. You feel me? But the one thing that they always do is they read the Bible, they pray, they go to bed, and then repeat, rinse and repeat, right? Now, what's the issue with the Bible, though? You see my point here? That we just don't know if that's his actual word. And, like, that's my thing where I've gone into constant arguments with my mother because they're like, no, this is what the Bible says. This is what you have to do. No, this is what this, but this it said because this is what this said. No, this is how the verse goes. No, let me read you this verse. No, I'm sorry, but that is an edited Bible. That is not the real Bible. And I'm sorry to tell you this, but I am not going to listen to a Bible, and we talked about this earlier, that I just don't know if that's what he wants me to do, or if it's someone that just randomly fucking said, huh, this sounds about right. Yep. You know what I mean? And it's just, that's my thing where it's like everyone's like, oh, yeah, like, my connection with God, I'd be looking up these Bible verses or whatever. I have the Bible verses on my phone, like, the ones that, like, you show up every morning and shit like that. Yeah, I'm sorry to tell you, my nigga, but you just don't know if that's actually what the fuck was said in the Bible. So then again, I agree that religion is all personal and that like it's between you and God. But at the end of the day, you may not even be following his word exactly how he wants it. And that's my thing where it's like, dude, everyone that fucking talks to religion about me, bro, gets mad at me because like I have these like opinions. And it's like I'm sorry, but like and I mean this in the most respectful way possible. Okay? Anyone that hasn't read the Old and New Testament can fuck off and like literally cannot really opinionate. You feel me? You know how many people don't know that the Old Testament was an angry God, and that's how I knew that you knew what the fuck you were talking about? But do you know how many people don't know that? Exactly, exactly my point, Sully. And that's what I'm trying to say. The niggas that like literally love to say that they're religious is like, bro, I'm sorry, but like I came from a household that was religious, and sadly, I think that's also why I have so many doubts. You feel me? And it is, it is. But okay, don't get me wrong. I don't have doubts about God. You feel me? But I have doubts about what I read. You feel me? 100%. But I've also like I think like when I started to realize like when I got older, like where I was like, okay, this is a problem, and like I cannot continue, and I stopped going to church. Was when I would read the Bible at home personally. And then I remember one time in specific, I had read this specific passage in the book, and the pastor had read it that week, and I interpreted it completely different from when he was talking about it at church. And then I was reading the book, and it's the one that like they pass out at church, so we all have the same Bible. And I'm just like, I was like, okay, it's interesting because the Bible he had was different. It was actually made in a different year. So when I opened mine, I'm just like, huh. I was following along. And I'm like, what the fuck? Mine's different. You know, it's not the same. So I was like, huh. So then that's when I started questioning it. I started looking into more. I started looking more into it, and then I saw that the Bible's been edited for fucking thousands of years. You know what I mean? And at one point, I even read. It's not scientifically proven, but I even read that like the Bible was just written in like a fucking journal by somebody that who interpreted the Bible, and then like that journal got lost or something like that. I forgot where I read it. It was I was very young when I read this, but what's it called? Like it was lost for a couple years, and someone just magically found this fucking like shit, and like, but it was like, kind of torn apart and like word smudge and shit. So then people just started interpreting it the way it's supposed to be, and then obviously with the little bits and pieces that we've had of the Quran, like we've been kind of been able to like piece what the Bible should be, but it's not exactly to the T. You know what I mean? And I think like 100%. I think like I can't commit to this because it's like I believe in God and I know what He wants at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I feel like I have a good idea of what He wants, but I also don't agree with everything the Bible says because of the whole edited bullshit. You know what I mean? So then that's my thing. That's my thing. Oh wow. Okay. It's eye opening, huh? Exactly. Mhm. Right. It's kind of like a video game. You know when we were little, like the fucking shitty ass graphics. I remember them as like, dude, here's was some good ass graphics. I'll plug in the same game now and it looks shit. Right? Exactly. So that's the same way. That's the best analogy I could fucking give anyone. It's like, dude, like when I was little, I would be listening and I'd be like, oh wow, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I should be doing that, right? And now that you had a similar like kind of like eye opening moment that I did, it was like, can I really believe this? I know that it sounds right. It sounds right. It sounds like something that he would want, but it's like, does he want that? Because like I think, as much as I hate to say this, the Old Testament, I know that it was like made when he was upset, obviously, right? Wasn't in his best state of mind. But I still think that angry thoughts are your true thoughts in a way. And I think like ex- exactly. And I think, as much as I hate to say it, I think that is the purest form that we should be. I don't completely agree with the New Testament. I don't. Even though it's the one that's most followed now. That is generally the generic Bible. You really have to be in tuned to read the Old Testament. You feel me? Especially because it's very hard to comprehend. It, it it's old. It's old English. It's definitely old British English. 100%. Yes, I agree with you. It is very very hard, but it's like it's also that thing where it's like still it was edited. As much as I hate to say it, the Old Testament is also edited. But it's like that's my thing, bro. That's my thing. And then like I explained all this, bro. That's my main one. Why I can't like go to religion. Like I can't like I believe in God, but I can't fully commit. Right. The second one is what I told you. Um, I don't feel comfortable going and saying that I am religious and following Him and trying to follow Him to the word when I still know that I'm sinning and that I'm not fully ready. You know what I mean? And third, yeah, exactly. And third, I have my own issue. where um I was little and I would go to like these little things, like the little group, like religious groups. What's it called? Mine was called Awana. It's like like little biblical study for kids, right? I asked the question because I mean that's what religion is for. You know what I mean? You're supposed to ask, and I asked the question, right? But I got shunned for it, and then they told my mom, and like I remember I got hit for it, and I just yeah, and so I just yeah, so then I just never wanted to go back. And ever since I was 12, I just never stepped foot in the church ever again. And so it kind of ruined it for me. And I explained all that. And that's the thing, Sully. Like, you listen to me now, you get why I don't want to. You feel me? It's not that I don't want to, just have my difficulties, right? But you also know that, like, hey, this nigga does believe in it, but he will commit when it's time for him to commit. Now, when someone tells him to commit, same way I know you. You believe in him. That's all that matters to me. You feel me? But you'll commit whenever you're ready. You feel me? It might be someone that brings you to religion, right? Or it might just be yourself makes you realize one day that you want to commit. You know what I mean? And that's my thing, where it's like, yeah, that's my thing. I hate forcing religion on anyone, and I think that's what she told me. She told me that was, I guess, the main reason why, you know, we parted ways. Which to me, um, respectfully, I think is retarded. You know what I mean? Just because, I mean, it's all personal salvation. You know what I mean? I mean, at the end of the day, right, right, and you're right. I mean, you're completely right. My grandma's so fucking stubborn. Like, she thinks that like you need to go to church on every Sunday. You need to be praying Wednesday night, like for like 2 hours. That you know what I mean? She's very old school, bro. She sends me Bible verses out of nowhere sometimes, talking about mijo, this is you. Like, you need to like pay attention. I was reading this. I think this was a sign from God for me to send it to you, and I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, okay. Like, that's what I'm telling you. I think, like, all these people who say, oh, I had a sign, it's just bullshit. It's just bullshit. It's just bullshit, bro. I'm sorry to tell you. You know what I mean? But, hey, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I think the best type of people that I've had, like, a religious connection with are the people who don't force anything. You know what I mean? And, like, we both established it should be, but honestly, I've been. And do you want to be dead ass with you, bro? Like, I think there's multiple things why I don't want a relationship anymore, and I think that's the biggest one. If I'm being for real with you, like I already had my difficulties with God. You feel me? And then the fact that like apparently this ruined my last one is making me less want to believe it. You feel me? Because like I already had all my fucking doubts with like the Bible and shit like that, right? And it's like, damn. Hmm. Exactly. And it's like, dude, it's like, damn, okay, so this fuck ass shit ruined my shit. You know what I mean? But I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Right, exactly. Yeah. But I mean, hey, I still stand 10 toes and I will never change for nobody on this. I will be ready when I'm ready and no one's gonna force me to fucking do that. I don't care how much I care about you. I don't care how much I love you. You could have gave birth to me, nigga. You could give me a fucking kidney because my kidneys are not working, and I will still not listen to your bullshit about believing in God until I'm ready. I'm just being that ass, bro. I mean, I believe in him, but you know what I meant. I'm just being, yeah, it's just like, dude, it's so stupid of me, bro. Like, Sully, you need to go to bed, nigga. That is mine too. I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, shit. That is true. That is true. I'm not gonna hold you. Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. You're not wrong, bro. Like, I think that's why I get along with everyone that I do. Like, you know what I mean? That is true. That is true. Yeah, you're not wrong about that one. 100%. 100%. You're not wrong, my nigga. Preach, my boy. Like, I'm gonna just eat my food and shower and probably go do a little something, and then just go do what I gotta do and come back and take a nap. It's not like I'm working or anything. No, you should, my nigga. I just realized the time until I got up and I was like, Sully needs to go to bed, nigga. But Tim is on tomorrow. I mean, if it's just me and you, we could play Ark. Um, I think Tim might. Yeah, I don't mind. We could play whatever you want to do, buddy. I'm cool, whatever. You see why I played in your lobbies now, right? Yeah, it was your second game, bro. That was Tim, bro. I literally told Tim no. You heard me. I was like, Tim, bro. It's like it's the second game. Tim's an asshole. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, kick him in the ball sack. He should be up right now. He might be watching my stream. Fuck ass nigga. I'll text him right now, actually. Matter of fact, yeah. I'm gonna text him. Hope you stub your toe at work today. You right. I'm gonna tell him right now, nigga. Right, right. You right. You right. I'm gonna tell him that right now. And I'll be like, I have video proof, bro. Check my fucking YouTube. Yep. We were waiting for you in the lobby for 30 minutes. Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. Taking some Z's, sleeping like a little baby. hmm hmm I know. You don't care about us, bro. No, nope. We're like a piece of ass to him now. Yeah, basically, man. Fuck that nigga Tim. Exactly. So it's 5 a.m. for him. He should be up. Get on, nigga. He does. He wakes up at like 4 a.m., bro. Fuck that nigga. He young. He can do an all nighter. That's what I'm saying. Go to bed, nigga. No, so they go to bed. Go to bed, nigga. We'll play tomorrow, right? All right then. Okay. Expect my text messages then. All right, my brother. No, yeah. Go ahead. All right, man. Good night, buddy. Talk to you later, man. Good night, bro.